English Steducentre Lesson 16 Verbs. Verbs. A verb is a doing or an action word. We can test if it is a verb by asking, can you ask, can you reply? By placing a pronoun in front of it, we asked, he replied. The three tenses, past, present, and future. The tense tells when the action takes place. Present, today, verb, I painted a picture. Past, yesterday, verb plus ed, I painted a picture. Future, tomorrow, will or shall plus verb, I shall paint a picture. Irregular verbs do not follow this pattern. Their past tense is different. The tenses. A more detailed analysis. Simple, continuous, and perfect tense. Simple, continuous, and perfect. Present, I drive. Continuous, I am driving. Perfect, I have driven. Past, I drove. I was driving. I had driven. Future, I shall drive. I shall be driving. I shall have driven. The tenses. The meaning of each tense is subtly different. I shall drive to the coast tomorrow. Future simple tense. I shall be driving to the coast tomorrow. Future continuous tense. I shall have driven to the coast by this time tomorrow. Future perfect tense. Finite verbs. A finite verb can stand on its own and does not need an auxiliary or helping verb. A finite verb must have a subject, number, singular or plural, and tense. Together with the subject, it makes a complete sentence. She plays, they argue. It indicates the number. The girl, 1, plays netball. The girls, many, play netball. The infinitive. When a verb is preceded by to, it is known as the infinitive. To play, to argue, to study, to discuss. The infinitive cannot stand alone. It must be preceded by a finite verb. She wants to discuss. They start to argue. We tried to study. Children love to play. The infinitive should not be split. I am going to definitely complete my work tomorrow. That is incorrect. I am definitely going to complete my work tomorrow. Correct. Auxiliary verbs. An auxiliary verb is a helping verb. It always precedes a verb. She has done her work. It regulates the tense of the sentence. We could see the sun rising in the east. Past tense. Common auxiliary verbs: am, are, be, can, could, had, has, have, is, may, might, must, shall, should, was, were, will, would. Depending on the sentence, the verb may be classified as a finite or auxiliary verb. He is the president of the company, finite verb. He is hoping to become the president of his company. Auxiliary verb plus present particle. The linking verb, the verb to be. The verb to be, is, am, are, is also referred to as the linking verb. A linking verb connects a noun with another noun, or a noun with an adjective. This man is a soldier, noun. This man is brave, adjective. The word that follows the linking verb is not the object. It is known as the complement. First person singular. Present tense, I am cold. Past tense, I was cold. Future tense, I shall be cold. Future tense if adamant or definite, I will be cold. First person, plural. Present tense, we are cold. Past tense, we were cold. Future tense, we shall be cold. Future tense if adamant or definite, we will be cold. Second person, singular and plural. You are cold. You were cold. You will be cold. Third person, singular. He, she, or it is cold. He, she, or it was cold. He, she, or it will be cold. Third person, plural. They are cold. They were cold. They will be cold. Transitive and intransitive verbs. A verb can be transitive or intransitive depending on whether or not it is followed by a direct object. A transitive verb takes a direct object. I wrote a letter, direct object, to the editor, indirect object, of the newspaper. Intransitive verbs are not followed by direct objects. I wrote to the editor, indirect object, of the newspaper. I wrote out of concern, adverbial phrase of reason. The moods of the verb. The mood of the verb indicates the speaker's intention or attitude. There are three main moods: indicative, imperative, or subjunctive. The moods of the verb. The indicative verb is used to express a fact or provide information. I always buy a lottery ticket. The imperative verb expresses instructions or commands. My uncle says, don't waste your money. The subjunctive mood is used when something is unlikely or to express a wish, doubt, or uncertainty. The linking verb was changes to were for all persons. If I were to win the lottery, he would eat his words. That is correct. If I was to win the lottery, he would eat his words. That is incorrect. Participles. Participles are formed when you combine an auxiliary verb with a finite verb plus ing or ed. Clouds had formed before the storm. The participle cannot stand alone. The tap leaking. That is incorrect. The tap is leaking, and that is correct. The moods of the verb. Present tense, I play. Past tense, I played. Present participle, I am playing. Past participle, I have played. Present tense, he eats. He ate. He is eating. He has eaten. You swim. You swam. You are swimming. You have swum. They draw. They draw. They draw. They are drawing. They have drawn. Past participles. They help to make the past tense of a verb and usually end in ed, d, en, or n. They follow verbs such as has, had, have, was, and were to form new tenses. The present was given to the child. The fingerprints were matched to the suspect. He had received a warning but ignored it. There are exceptions. Example, I buy. I have bought. The mood of the verb. A useful way to form a past participle is to imagine I have before the verb. I offer my services. I have offered my services. Other words ending in ed. The past participle may also be used as an adjective. The search party came across the deserted village, the village which had been deserted. Thank you, the Steducentre, turning ordinary learners into extraordinary leaders.